Hello, my name's Chet Davis, and this is Reflections. Today, a few thoughts on acting rather than reacting. I shared this presentation recently to a corporate group, and several people said they appreciated it so very much that I wanted to share this with you. It's about being grounded. It's about acting rather than reacting. Play with me here. Stay with me and see if this will make an impact for you. I believe for many of you it will. There's so much that can happen to us every single day, even every hour, right, that affects who we are, who we're behaving, who we're becoming. I think it's important for us to take a step back and act rather than react. What do you mean, Chet? Well, I mean this. If you're a single mom, a single dad, maybe you're a manager, maybe you're a retail employee, maybe you're an entrepreneur who's struggling to do your own business, to reach out and share your passions with your community, with the world. There's things that happen, and we have the ability to act rather than react. But to act, we need to know who we are. And this is what I mean. What I'd like you to do is maybe just mentally, but I would encourage you to grab a pen or pencil and a piece of paper, find it a scrap paper or a Post-it note, something like that. Or if you're on your computer, maybe you're listening on your mobile device, open up the Notes app and write down, but first reflect for a second. Who is it that you are? What I mean by that are, what are 3 character traits? Just 3 character traits. 3 personality traits that define who you are, or maybe who you want to be, who you strive to be. Who do you want to be known as? What are 3 traits that you hope other people see in you day in and day out? Now, I know some of you are going to want to write down 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I get that. Go ahead and do that and then cross them off, because I'd like you to end up with just 3. 3 are easier to remember, because that's going to be important in a moment. But go ahead and pause if you want. Take a moment and write down 3 character traits that define who you are, or who you're striving to be, who you want to be. Now, when I did this with the group, we had each person share this with another person. If you're by yourself right now, there's a way to do that in just a moment. But what I'd like you to do is, again, reflect on those 3 character traits. Who you are, who you're meant to be, who you're striving to be. Who do you want to be known as? And why it's important is those need to come back to you, not now when it's maybe quiet and peaceful and you're by yourself, you have a moment to reflect, but in the challenges of each day. When you're dealing with somebody maybe who's rude, maybe you're in a situation that's stressful, maybe the children are screaming, the dogs are barking, maybe there's a customer who's on the other end of the phone or who just sent you a nasty email, maybe there's some challenges with the current project you're working on. As an author, as an expert, as an entrepreneur, maybe that speech you're writing is difficult at this moment in time. Maybe that book you're writing, you're at a roadblock. I want you to hearken back to those 3 character traits and remember who you are. Oftentimes, I think it's easy for us to start claiming something that we're not, but instead how we're feeling. For example, if I was to say, I'm confused, I would disagree. I'm not confused. I'm feeling confused. When we claim something that we're not, what is that statement doing to us, right? I'm confused. I'm stupid. I'm incapable of doing this. Now, I teach technology to people, and I often hear people say, I'm dumb when it comes to computers, or I'm computer illiterate. They're claiming something not that they are, but that they're feeling, and those things can be overcome. Now, if I shift that, and instead of saying I'm confused, say I'm feeling confused. I'm no longer a confused person. I'm feeling confused, and someone can help me with that. Instead, I could say, I'm feeling confused. Can you help me with this? So it's just a feeling, and feelings can change. But if I lay claim to being that which is negative, then I am setting up a negative expectation. It reminds me of of some powerful words I heard in the movie The Help. You may have seen the movie. If you haven't yet, I strongly recommend it. But the movie The Help, of course, is based on a book. These group of women are housekeepers in the Deep South, and this is in the 50s and the 60s with the civil rights struggles going on. And this African-American woman shared with the young Caucasian woman her children. And she recited to her daily to these children, "You is smart, you is kind, you is important. You is smart, you is kind, you is important." Those were the foundations for that child as she grew up. And she remembered that on into her adulthood. It helped define who she was, not only who she was, but how she behaved every day, who she could become, and how she related to other people. That's why I want you to lay claim to these character traits that define who you want to be, who you are inside. So lay claim to those. If you'd like, go ahead and assert that statement now in the comments and the notes below, or share that with your partner, share that with your spouse, share that with your best friend. Reach out and connect with somebody. Maybe it's somebody at work, at lunch today. Maybe when you get home tonight, share with a person who you are. And I suggest you write this down again on a Post-it note or put it in your notes app on your mobile device. And when the day gets challenging, pull that up and refer so that you can act in the power of who you want to be, who you really are, not these temporary conditions. Don't let those conditions define you. Instead, let you define yourself and be the person you're really meant to be. It's like the keel on a sailboat, right? It's like the tail on a kite. As the winds blow and the waves come across the bow of the ship, those things help to keep it steady, help to keep it right. We need those things in our life so that we can truly be who we're meant to be. If you have thoughts, if you have comments, if you have observations about today's episode of Reflections, I encourage you to put them in the comment section below, or you can send me an email to Chet, C-H-E-T, @chetdavis.com. Tune in next week. In next week's episode, I want to share what I believe is the new definition of success, and it might surprise you.